Welcome to the first video that shows you how to use the Go software from Data Harvest. And the first thing we need to do is talk about the different parts of the screen, which probably makes more sense if we load a simulation first. So a simulation is like a kind of computer model of a real world system. So we go to the Connect ACE, and that's what they call simulations in Go. ACE stands for Animated Control Environment. So I'm going to click on that, and we're going to work with Model Pack 1, and we're going to start with the starter one, which is the fairground. Okay, now do be aware that you're in a classroom, and this has the most annoying, cheesy music in the whole world. And if you want to turn that off, you just turn it off with that green button down there. I've got my laptop speakers off, so you can't hear it. Now, this is like, you've got to imagine now, this is the entrance to a fairground circus, and it's tempting you to come in, and this jolly clown here is saying, come in, and above his head are a series of lights. Now, if I click on those, if I click on the outputs, these are outputs in our simulation. These are things that we can control. We can put them on or off, and they're just flashing lights. And they're seen up there, and they're also seen down here in the input-output panel. This area here gives us like a view of like almost like more computer-like code that we've written. And this area is our algorithm design, which is going to be actually captured in a flowchart. We're going to be writing a flowchart, and we do that by choosing these things over here and putting these into this space. There's a whole series of items across here that we'll unpick as we go through. The ACE one, or Disconnect ACE and Connect ACE, is the one we've done so far. And then there's top level, you've got your main menu. Now the first thing I would advise you all to do is always start with a file, save as, and save your work as, even if you think this is perhaps not that important, give it a name, something like test1 in your folder, and save your work. And then I can tell you've saved it at the top there. It's now telling me you've saved it. In fact, that's probably just off the screen for you. Okay, so one thing you can do is, just to get yourself started, is you can say start to learn with ACE, and I want to know how this works, how this ACE works, and how Go works. And what you can do is, if you flick a light on, you'll notice that the code for doing that, or the algorithm design for that, has come up over here on the left. If I click it again, that's the algorithm to turn it off, and you'll notice the 8 seconds is about how long it took me in between pressing the two. You can stop the learn at that point, and you can actually now run this algorithm, which is represented here in a sort of more computer-like code, by pressing start. And all we did is turn the red light off, waited a while, and then, turned it on, waited a while, and then turned it off. Okay, so that's something to explore, because that sort of teaches you a little bit about how the tool works. But the most interesting way to use the tool, I'm going to delete that algorithm now, I'm going to get rid of that. If you click on the top, and click the delete option down here, it's asking me if I want to save it. Sorry, that's going to delete it. Sorry, do you want to continue? I say yes, I do. Now I'm going to click new, and I've now got a brand new flowchart. I would get you into the habit of nice and early of clicking on that and actually giving that a name. Now the name is down here, and I would call it like main, and that will become kind of a bit more clear in our next videos, that you need to start giving these flowcharts names. This is our main flowchart. And what I'm going to do now is show you how to use the tool now to design your algorithm to just switch the red light on and off, to actually flash the red light. So start as main, and the first thing you want to do, this output box is what we haven't seen in our previous lesson, and this is actually to turn an input or an output. And we're going to click on that box. I'm going to say we want to switch an output, and we want to switch the red light on. Okay, and then you click OK, and that comes up here and also up here. Okay, now there's no connection between the two yet. To connect those, because this is a flow chart to show how things move, you click in there and you click in there, and the two are connected. All flowcharts must have a stop, so we'll put a stop down the bottom here. Now, we've switched the light on. What we've got to do now is wait a little while, and that would be a process box. So we put a process in there, and we want to wait, let's say, a second, and press OK. Then what we actually want to do is to switch the light off again. Okay, and so we're going to switch the red light off. Yeah, I'm going to connect those up with the flow line. Okay, so I've created a very simple program now. I'm just going to turn those outputs off. And when I run that program now, you can see that the red light just flashes on and off once. Now this lesson is all about you tinkering and you getting to use different things and experiment with the tool and see what you can find out. So I'm not really going to show you any more at this stage, but I will show you one last little thing, and that is if you put any of these lines in the wrong place, these flow lines, it's probably not simple to work this out yourself. So I'm going to show you what you need to do. If you say I wanted to remove that line because I'd made a mistake, you click on it first and the line turns blue, and then you select delete and the line's gone. And similarly, if any of your processes or boxes you want to get rid of, you click on them first and you click delete. And that's one way of making changes. Have a go and see what you can find out about the tool yourself. And if you ever want to make when you come to run it, if you want to make the ace bigger, you can do. You can make it much bigger. Okay, have fun, see what you can find out.